Hello, everyone. We have a special guest today, the pound for pound king, one of the greatest of all time, one of the greatest athletes of all time, famous for his sports legacy and his music legacy, the one, the only, Roy Jones Jr.
Thank you, my brother. Appreciate it.
So, welcome to Kazakhstan. And
Thank you.
this isn't your first time in Kazakhstan.
Not my first time, and hopefully, if I'm alive, it won't be my last time.
Well, it's an honor for Kazakhs.
Yeah, I really love Kazakhstan people. The hospitality that they show me. To be in the presence of two more Val Barker Cup winners is always out of this world because most of the time we only know of people who won the Val Barker Cup, but we don't see them, because it's in this country or that country or that country, but they have two here, and I won it. So it makes three of us in one country at the same time. That's crazy.
That's wonderful. That's insane.
Yeah, it is.
Love that. No, as a person from Kazakhstan, I must say it's an honor. It makes us happy when you visit us.
Thank you. I love to come visit you guys. Yes.
Big news. Just coming off that, can you talk about your impression of the country, of the culture, of the people? What do you think?
I'm always highly impressed with the culture of the people. I love the way that they live, the way they do things. Their boxing techniques are out of this world. They produced a lot of really good boxing champions. Like I said, two Val Barker Cups. Triple G went on to do beautiful big things in boxing. So a lot of people from here do a lot of good things in boxing and martial arts, really the MMA now. So it's like Kazakhstan is a really big threat in the world of boxing, the world of sports, especially combat sports. So I love coming here because I know that they love fighting, they love fundamentals, they love doing things the right way. And when you see their guys fight, their guys are always very, very disciplined. And that's because this is how they live.
Mm-hmm. Well, yeah. Have you trained? I assume you've trained with some Kazakh fighters.
No, I've seen a few train, but I haven't really trained with them, no.
No. But as you said, we have a big boxing culture. We have a Triple G really put us on the global map, yeah. And now we have a big uprising star, және Kalimhanoli.
Yep. Jenny yep.
Showing it.
And to be honest with you though, Giraffe put you guys on the map too, because Giraffe won a gold medal, won the Val Barker Cup, but Giraffe turned pro and became IBF cruiserweight champion. So he also put you on the map a little bit before Triple G. So I can't, it's like there have been, and now so many guys from here just keep going and doing big things. So I love when a floodgate opens and people realize that if they're from Kazakhstan, you better be ready because they can fight.
That's good to hear, honestly. Yes. So if one of your students back in the States told you, I know nothing about Kazakhstan, I want to go train boxing in Kazakhstan,
you better be ready. You better be ready.
Is that the advice you're going to give?
You better be ready because they're going to be at your neck.
That's good. Has that ever happened?
Not training, but guys have fought against Kazakhstan fighters, and I always tell them, listen, if he's from Kazakhstan, have your stuff ready because he's gonna be serious and he's gonna be good. And usually they end up getting beat by the guy from Kazakhstan because they didn't expect it, But
wow,
I try to tell them.
What can I say? The Kazakh strength, I guess, it makes me happy to hear that. I just wanted to talk a bit about your boxing. Your hands down technique, taunting opponents. Was that more of a psychological warfare, entertainment, or part of your natural confidence when you were doing that?
It's a mixture of all three. Part of it, I was taught how to do everything in a lot of different ways by my father. He taught me a good foundation, right? Then second, I learned a lot of things in nature about how to fight and how to perform and how you're supposed to carry yourself. So those things my father could not have taught me because he was too overbearing. Last but not least, the confidence thing. I wasn't really allowed to show confidence growing up a lot, because my father was such an overbearing father. You always were never good enough. But once I got away from that, I knew what I had to be to dominate the world. So I had an aura of confidence. I did learn technically so that I could do anything that my mind wanted to do. But the nature taught me how to be a winner and how to be an entertaining winner. So it kind of all came together, and I didn't mean to fight with my hands down. It just works best for me. So.
Well, it surely left a big mark in the history and inspired a lot of people to do that. And me myself, I'll tell you, I train. I've been training MMA for a few years now, and sometimes I'm like, I sit inspiring. I'm like, hey, you know what? I remember you in the ring. And I'm like, I'm gonna go like that. What are they gonna do with that? What are they gonna do?
It makes it very difficult for them, though.
Yeah.
See, you gotta understand. You go out there, you fight a man. He's supposed to be one of the best in the world, and you drop your hands. He gonna say, "Wait a minute, I'm supposed to be top notch." He dropping his hands on me. Yes, on you.
True. So it really does
of course,
break down.
Of course,
break
mess
them
his
down.
head up all the way.
Yeah. Wow. Well, that's a good thing to take note of. So as I said, I've been training and a lot, and one thing that I've been training the hardest is the hooks, and you are the king of the hooks,
Captain Hook all day.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna kill this theory right now. A European hook is good because you throw it, but it's a one-time thing. It's hard to double and triple up on that. This one is easy to triple up on. But if you think about it, if you go to the gym right now, grab a weight, take a 25 or 50-pound weight and do it like this, and you grab the same weight and do it like this, you're gonna do more weight like this or like this. That means you're stronger like this than you are like this. Nobody never explains it that way. I know because I make my guys do it. You understand me? To prove why I use this hook instead of this hook. But both are good and both are good at different times. If you're gonna have a remarkable hook and be known for a hook, you gotta have that palm facing you. You'll be much more strong. Go to the gym and try it. Try to grab a weight like this, pick it up, then grab it like this and pick it up. You're gonna be stronger this way. Because this engages all of this. This separates some of this out. So
oh, that's a good point.
yeah, I'm not a scientist. I ain't that smart, but I know a little bit about fighting.
I'm sure you do. Well, I remember in your Joe Rogan podcast, you talk about your biceps, how it makes your hook better. So ever since I watched that, I started training my biceps really hard.
You should. But to get the most out of it, you got to turn it this way.
That's it.
There with the palm facing you. Open your palm. Make sure your palm facing your face. And then ball that knuckle. That's how it got to be. And that elbow behind it. So when you hook, you throw money with the elbow to come through. So and you're an MMA fighter, so you can also elbow.
Yeah.
In boxing, we can't elbow. But to throw a good hook, I always teach my guys to bring the elbow through so that you don't see the open part of the glove. Because a lot of guys, when they throw a hook, they do this and you see this. You should never see that on the hook. Never.
Yeah.
That's why this is more useful. Usually, are more useful for guys because it's easier. You never see them slap like this. They hook like that, they never gonna slap. Guys that try to throw hook like this, sometimes they open it too wide. If it hits that, that's a slap. It's no good.
No. Yeah. I'm gonna use that.
Well, it's a lot to go with.
I'm gonna use that. So, would you say what makes a perfect hook? Is it the power? Is it the footwork? What to someone who wants to get a very to make their hook the best? What should they focus on?
Go watch a left-hander hit a baseball. When you see a left-hander hit a baseball, you see him cock his right shoulder, put the left shoulder back. He'll pull with his right shoulder first, then he'll push the back shoulder and hit a home run. So it's two forces working. He's pulling with the right shoulder, and pushing with the left shoulder. So a good hook should be set up where you can get that right shoulder turned forward just a little bit, and now you can snatch that right shoulder and push the left shoulder around, and that's a devastating hook. If you don't believe me, go watch some Roi Johnstың videos. I had to show you.
I have watched them.
Y'all must have forgot.
Oh, yeah. Well, yeah, I know when I'm doing my next training session now. Know what I'm asking my coach for.
Yeah.
Just more about training. Something that... So before we had this, we had like a small poll of asking people, like, what would you want to know? What would you want me to ask Roy Jones Jr.? And one of the questions that was kind of common is your preparation for exhibition fight with Mike Tyson. Yeah, was it very different to what you were to your training session, to your preparation, like in days before for other fights?
Yeah, it was a little bit different, but it wasn't a lot different. Just that now, with my knees being in the condition that they're in, I'm not allowed to run as much, so I don't get as much road work in. But other than that, everything else was about the same. The only difference was you have to take like 2 rest days a week now because you're older. So you got to have more than 1 rest day. You got to have 2. And if you do that, then you won't you won't burn yourself out. You won't overtrain, and you'll be fine.
No. So back in the days, in the Prime days,
running, basketball, running, boxing, running, basketball, running, boxing.
Oh, I love that.
All the time.
Love that. So how many hours a day did you used to train back
I used to wake up and run in the morning, probably about an hour and a half. Then about 2 o'clock, I would go to training on Monday. 2 o'clock. No. Well, 3 o'clock on Monday, Wednesday, Friday. I go 2 o'clock on Tuesday and Thursday. And the reason being is because after I ran in the morning on Monday, Wednesday, Friday, I played basketball at 12.
Mm. Yep.
Then I get through by 12, by 2 o'clock, 2:30. Then I go to the gym about 3:30, 4. Then I'm done. On Tuesday and Thursday, I run in the morning. I train about 2. I play basketball at 6.
Oh.
Yeah.
So you used to switch it up, yeah?
Every day.
That's a good thing to do.
Yeah.
I'll start doing it as well. This is just something I'm,
Yep.
asking for myself, but I'm sure the audience would
good.
love that.
Yep.
Something that interests me, and I think it interests a lot of people, is the mental preparedness, is the mental health before the fights. And you were known for your mental toughness in the ring. You were coming out there. A lot of fighters would lose before you even start the fight. Exactly. And you can see that when as a person who's a fan, you can watch, you're like, oh, this guy's done. Did you have like any rituals or like things that you would do to prepare mentally before the fight, like before you enter the ring, or maybe the day before or the week before?
Yeah, the week before I fight, what I would usually do, the best Roy Jones gonna go to training camp for about 6 weeks, right?
Mm-hmm.
But after that 4th week, 6 weeks before you fight. So that 4th week is finished. I come home that 5th week just to observe, look at everything I have, because I have a lot of animals, a lot of things in my yard, a lot of things God has allowed me to accumulate.
Mm-hmm.
I come back and look at all those things that make me happy. I gotta get a good visual of them, because if something happens in a fight bad, you're never gonna see it again. And you gotta know that. So it's like you're going to war. You may not come back the same. You may not come back at all. So you stop by and see everything you got, everything that God has blessed you to be able to accumulate. Be thankful for it. Then I get on that plane and go where I gotta go, because now I'm ready to die.
Damn, that's powerful. That's very powerful.
I ain't ready to die. I'm actually ready to win. But if it take dying to win, that's what I'm gonna do.
Damn. Wow. That's very powerful. Wow. If going back to back in the day, so Prime Roi Jones Jr. If we could match against any fighter from any time, past or present, who would you want to face?
Prime Roi Robinson. Yeah, because that's the one that they always going to compare you to anyway, because he was the first one that really had really good hand speed and power, and could throw the combinations like he was supposed to. So he was one of the first ones that was known for knocking you out in the middle of a combination. He could throw a 5-punch combination. The first one could knock you out, the third one could knock you out, or the 5th one could knock you out. Not many people can do that, and people don't understand that about boxing. That's what made him so devastated. He can throw you a 6-punch combination. Either of those 6 punches could take you out. Most guys now, they throw 6 punches, 5 of them slap. You know what I'm saying? So that was the guy who basically my style probably started with, because he was the first one to throw combinations with power, in my opinion. Now, Willie Pep was the first one that had really good footwork, but Roi Robinson was the first one I seen throw combinations with power that could knock you out with any punch. And that's where my foundation probably was built from. So to go back and fight one of the originals of that beginning part of that foundation would have been fun, because he can match you combination-wise. Now, he may not match me power because I was a little bit bigger than him, but speed-wise, combination-wise, he would have been a very close fit.
Interesting. What about today's fighters?
Today's fighters, to be honest with you, Usyk would be a very good matchup, because Usyk is such an intellectual guy. He's very smart. The good thing about him is he figures that out. He has a way of moving. He's awkward. He's different. And he'll allow you to sleep if he can. It wouldn't have worked on me because I already know that game. But if he can, he will. So I like it. And I would like to see how far he could have pushed me, because he pushed me a little bit because you got to outthink him. And he's a very good thinker. And by the way, I also learned last 2 or 3 weeks ago, Arthur Beterbief is also a good thinker. I found that out through playing checkers. He put a checkerboard in front of me. We played. First game, I didn't know his rules, so he beat me. Second game, once I understood his rules, I beat him, but I had to think to beat him. You understand me? And that let me know that he is a thinker. He's not just a power puncher. He was 20-0 with 20 knockouts. Now he's 21-0 with 20 knockouts. But most of us thought of him as just a power puncher. He's not just a power puncher. He's also a guy that can think, and I like that.
Well, that's an interesting fact.
Well, I just had to tell you what the truth be,
Yeah. Well, his fight with Bivol was one of the classics of today's day.
Yeah, it was.
I was telling my friends that if someone who doesn't know anything about boxing and they would tell me, "Can you show me what boxing today is?" That's the fight I would show. Bivol and
very close fight, very good, well fought fight, very disciplined fought fight. So that's what you like in boxing. That's more of a, it's hard to say it, but that's more of two guys, two real technicians. Feel me? Both those guys are real technicians, and they both stay inside of the box. The problem they would have had with me, I ain't stay inside the box. I was a hell of a technician, but I didn't stay inside the box. I'm going to do something outside the box. That's the only way I know. I don't know how to live normal. I keep trying to tell people this. Normal living, I don't understand. I have to do something outside the box. If I don't do something outside the box, then it ain't me. So if you ever see me out there just going through a fight and I don't do nothing crazy, that ain't really me. I'm not in my right mind. You understand me? So to deal with people, and the reason people know me all over the world now is because those two guys are probably close. Those two guys, Usyk, Loma, Terrence Crawford, these guys are as fundamentally inclined as you're probably going to get. Only difference in them and me was I was also that fundamentally inclined, but I thought outside the box. So you see me do stuff that you don't see nobody else do. You understand me? So if you take how good those guys are, and you put the outside the box thinking with it, you got Roy Jones highlights. Right? Am I lying?
Facts, yeah, that's true.
But most people don't know how to go outside that box. They just stay in their envelope, which is cool because they're good at that. And that's what works for them. But for me, that would never have been good enough.
Yeah. There's a lot of fighters that would have one or the other.
Yeah.
But there's only one man that
because I was willing, I had the total package, but I also was willing to go outside of the box. Not many people willing to do that.
Yeah.
Think about it. Who gonna play a basketball game the day before they fight the same day? Play a basketball game that morning and fight that evening.
Did you used to do that?
I did that.
Wow.
Yeah, United States Basketball League, semi-pro basketball. I played a basketball game at 12 o'clock, and I fought at 9 o'clock that night.
Damn.
And the guy that I beat, went on to become the WBC super middleweight champion and held that belt for 3 years after that. So I didn't beat no bum. I beat a future champion. We just didn't know it yet because he was in there with the GOAT.
Well, because you've made a lot of people look like before they enter the ring, we think of them like they're great, and then once they step into the ring, we're like, oh, maybe he wasn't that good. But you made them look like that.
Everybody had a bad misconception of me. They thought that because I was so fast, I couldn't have punching power. Same thing I just told you about Sugar Ray Robinson. They thought that he's too fast to have power on all those punches. Some of that can't be real punches. Like they said about Muhammad Ali. They said Muhammad Ali didn't have power, but he started knocking people out. What are you knocking them out with then?
True. So, just coming off talking about the great ones, and who would you say? Can we make a list of the top 5 pound-for-pound boxers of all time, according to Roy Jones Jr.?
It'd be very hard to make a list top 5 pound for pound because pound for pound is different. So pound for pound, I'm gonna start with them. I'm gonna go with all top 5 first. Top 5, I'm always gonna tell you it's gonna be Muhammad Ali. You can put an asterisk second by Roy Jones Jr. and Mike Tyson. Then you can probably put fourth. You probably could put Pernell Whitaker. You understand me?
Yeah,
entertainer, I'm saying.
Yeah, I see what you mean.
Fifth, you probably put Prince Nassim Hamed.
You
understand? Because not many people entertained the way that we did. Matter of fact, Sugar Leonard may go instead of Sweet Pea. Sugar Leonard was a little bit more entertaining than Sweet Pea was. So Ali, Roy, Tyson, Sugar Ray, and Prince Hamed. That's how I think. your 5 entertainers.
Mm-hmm.
Entertainers. Pound for pound,
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to go with Roy, Sugar Ray Robinson,
Mm-hmm.
Roberto Duran, Salvador Sanchez, and my fifth will probably be Sugar Ray Leonard.
So it very much differs from the entertainment one.
There's
So
two,
very
different, two different sides of it. You feel me?
Yeah.
But you see Roy Jones in both of them.
Oh, yeah, I was just gonna say.
So and ain't many people going in both of them.
Yeah.
Ali will always be the greatest of all time to me because of not only what he did inside the ring, what he did outside, and what he was able to do inside the ring with what was going on with him outside the ring. Nobody ever gonna top him. He's the most known athlete ever. He was the most known athlete, known person on the planet in his day. So nobody ever gonna top that. So he's gonna be number one across the board with everything. But when you talk about the rest of it, some of us had entertainment factors. Some of us had true skill factors. You feel me?
Mm-hmm.
The guys now they got a lot of true skill, but not many of them entertain.
Mm-hmm.
You feel me?
Yeah.
And the ones that usually entertain end up not being able to really fight.
Mm-hmm.
You feel me? So it's a very hard thing to find a healthy medium with a guy that can fight, but also knows how and when to entertain. Because some guys do it too much, some guys do it at the wrong time. It's hard to find that. If you find that, you got yourself a superstar.
True.
You feel me?
Yeah. So do you think the boxing has changed these days? How now with the they focus so much on the perfect record, maybe sometimes avoiding big fights. So would you say the boxing now focuses more on entertainment rather than like what it was in the past? Or is
we really can't say it focuses on entertainment, because if it focuses on entertainment, the big fighters will be fighting the big fighters. That's what the entertainment factor of boxing is. That's why the reason, and what I'm going to tell you is that the reason it's not entertainment as far as the sport of boxing goes is because Jake Paul make more money than all of them. He's pure entertainment.
Yeah.
So he's not no boxer at all. He's more entertainment than he's ever been a boxer. So yes, he makes more money, but he don't care who he fought. He lost Tommy Fury. Who cares? He's still making money.
Mm-hmm.
So he knows how to go back because of social media and do that. Now, real boxing, we think that, because we get a belt, that means everybody's supposed to follow us. No, a belt don't mean followers. It's a different time now.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? You go whoop everybody want to see who is this that's whooping everybody. You understand me?
Mm-hmm.
But if you can go be famous on social media, you ain't got to whoop nobody. Just whoop one of them. Become famous on social media, you could just fight whoever you want to fight. Look what Jake Paul is doing. He can fight whoever the hell he want to fight. And people going to pay to see it because he got followers. So boxing and that is two different. Now, they branched off. Entertainment is one lane, and boxing is another lane. Because you don't get entertainment in boxing unless you get a real entertaining fight. And that's hard to find nowadays. You feel me?
Mm-hmm.
Like the Usyk Fury fight was entertaining.
That was, yeah.
But it's hard to find that nowadays. You
Yeah.
understand? We don't get many of those no more.
Mm-hmm.
You understand? Those are very far and few in between. You know, the Tim Tszyu and the fight he fought last time, him and Sebastian, what's the man? What's Sebastian, whatever Sebastian's name is, the tall guy, the towering inferno. Him and Tim Tszyu had a hell of a fight last time. Tim Tszyu got butt, but wow, that was a hell of a fight. You feel me? So it's a few good fights that we get every now and then that are really, really Katie Taylor or Amanda Serrano. It don't get no better than that. You understand me?
Mm-hmm.
But those fighters, those are the fights that boxing be wanting. And it's a shame that the girls had to do it twice to show them how it really should be going. You understand me?
Mm-hmm.
And not many guys want to do that no more.
Yeah.
You know? So that's what has created a lane for stuff like Misfits or Jake Paul, because they want entertainment. Boxers won't fight each other to entertain no more. Think about this. If the Lakers went undefeated, and back when Michael Jordan with the Bulls, they went, like, had one loss or went almost undefeated, or they won the East and the Lakers won the West, and we just say, okay, that's the end of the season. You know how pissed off people would be?
Yeah.
We want to see the best play the best. If you don't, we ain't got no. That's football still do it. Soccer still do it. Hockey still do it. Baseball still do it. Basketball still do it. Why did boxing stop?
Sure. Yeah. I agree with that. And it's like if NFL didn't have a Super Bowl.
Well, it wouldn't be no sense to watch the NFL. I don't want to watch the game every week if I don't know if I ain't gonna be able to find out in the end who the best team is. It don't make no sense to watch it. That's why boxing has lost so many fans, and that's why so many lanes have opened up for these misfits and for Jake Paul, because they still want boxing entertainment with that. I mean, a man told me something not long ago that made more sense than he put it in a way that I had never heard it before. He said, 2 mules is a good race. A mule ain't got a chance with a racehorse. A mule ain't got a chance with a quarter horse. But if you put another mule over there and watch them race, you can have yourself a good damn race. And that's what's happening with the Misfits. That's what's happening with the Jake Paul. I mean, a 58-year-old guy and a 28-year-old guy, come on, bro. That's 2 mules.
Yeah, that was...
right? You feel me, though, right?
Yeah.
But look how much money it generated because 2 mules is a good race. You understand me?
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
A shame we got to go watch mules race because the racehorses won't race against each other no more. But 2 mules is still a good race.
Yeah.
And they don't mind racing each other because they know they ain't finna break no records no way. They not that fast. They ain't made for racing. They made for pulling. So.
That's true, man. Yeah. Well, looking back at yourself in boxing, maybe not looking back, maybe today, what would you say boxing taught you about yourself in terms of your greatest strength and your greatest vulnerability? If you don't mind me asking that.
Yeah, I don't think boxing really taught me much about myself. I think I knew what I was going in, but what I did learn overall that one of my best attributes was my speed because I could outspeed almost anybody. And I also had a great mentality. Weaknesses, it was hard to find weaknesses until I came down from heavyweight. I don't think I really had no weaknesses because I was such a complete guy that, I mean, you couldn't hardly hit me. And most time when you do hit me, I took it pretty good. So, and all those fights before I went to heavyweight, I had got knocked down one time. And that one guy was a former sparring partner who knew me very well. You understand? Because he sparred me every other day. So, of course, he knew how to land one shot in 10-ounce gloves. And I had got a little lackadaisical, but I got up and almost killed him. So, it happens. But, yeah, back in my day before I came down from heavyweight, wasn't no touching Roy Johnstың.
Yeah, that's powerful. Oh, also the greatest offensive fighter.
Y'all must have forgot.
Yeah. No. Up to this day, no one really does the offense the way you did.
They can't. Yeah. They can't. But listen to this now. This is what else I like. We talk about offense, right? Who's the only person in the CompuBox era to go a whole 3-minute round and not be hit?
Yeah.
Well, why he's not considered one of the best defensive fighters then? He the only one went a whole round and didn't get hit. And the guy he did it against won titles from middleweight to from lightweight to super middleweight. Vinny Pazanza. He was lightweight champ. He got all the way up and won super middleweight champ. He went all the way up to that and winning titles. So it ain't like I did that against a slouch.
Yeah.
You understand me?
Yeah.
As a matter of fact, my second fight, I fought the co-main event to Vinny Pazanza. He fought Benny Gacy that night. A 10-round main event. I fought 8 rounds. And I stopped Stephon Johnson in the 8th round.
Damn.
So I came from the bottom all the way to the top.
All the way.
You feel me? Then I beat the guy that was kind of on top when I got started. And he went a whole round and couldn't touch me. They'll tell you, bro. Y'all must have forgot.
Yeah. Well, that can't be touched. Yeah,
can't be touched. Can't be touched. Can't be stopped.
Yes, sir. That's a legendary track. And by the way, I think I speak for a lot of people when I say that. Before I listen to this track before every sparring session, actually, and before my big events in life. So I had like a job interview, and I was getting myself mentally like in the zone. And when I put the Can't Be Touched on repeat, and I was just, was there a song that was like that before you made Can't Be Touched? Was there a song that was like that for you that you would listen to and you just get in the zone and just would be the one that?
It was quite a few of them. It was a lot of them. Actually, a lot of Run DMC songs. Really, what would get me going more so than anything was beats, because people had different topics that they talk about. But the only 2 people that really talked about topics like that I could relate to as far as boxing went was DMX and Scarface. And Scarface talked about it from more of a street point of view, but it was basically the same way that I view boxing. You understand me? So that people say, "Why are you such a Scarface fan?" If you listen to the things he say, you could understand, but you have to listen to them. You can't listen to his tracks because all of his tracks aren't always like that. But what he's saying means a lot. So what that empowered me to do was when I started searching for music, when I was doing that album even, I picked that Can't Be Touched beat. I had a whole team, but I picked the beat, and they were like, "Why this beat?" I said, "Because I want a beat that makes me feel like I'm about to go get him," and that's how I picked that beat. I knew when we recorded that song that probably was going to be one of the hottest songs on the album. But everybody was caught up in the song for the summer, which was "I smoke, I drank, I supposed to stop, but I can't." That was a hot song too because it was a hot thing for the summer. But summer songs play out. Fight songs don't.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's still up
You
to this
understand me?
day.
The fight
one of
song
the
don't
hottest
play out.
songs.
A hot fight song ain't gonna play out. Everybody gonna still use it. You
Yeah.
understand me? So I can feel it coming through the air tonight. Who still don't listen to that?
Yeah.
Hold on.
Hold on,
That
hold
still
on.
make you ready to go. You feel me?
Yeah.
I've been waiting for this moment. Come on, bro.
No,
You
it's not.
understand me? Get me
The
ready.
youth today would
You
not
feel
even
me?
know what you're talking
You
about.
feel me?
Yeah,
So
no.
if you make a song like that, it
Yeah.
ain't never gonna die.
Yeah, it's
And it's only the grace of God that allowed me to make it. But when you make a song like that, God knows it ain't going nowhere.
did that affect your like mindset, your in the career when you made the song? Were you like,
That's what I thought anyway. That's just how I felt anyway. That's why I
mm,
liked it so much. It was so much of me and what I felt. That's how I was feeling at the time.
mm,
So
that's hard. I mean, it's one of the hardest songs of all time as well. I would say
yeah.
it's definitely yeah, it definitely motivates a lot of people. And did anyone criticize that, like when you were like, I'm gonna make music?
No. Oh yeah. Criticize me? Oh yeah, they criticize me because they always feel like a boxer is limited and only can do one thing, box. That's why I did the basketball game. That's why I made the music. That's why I was in the Matrix 2. I was in a few movies. The Matrix 2 probably being the biggest one. That's why I did so many different things outside of the boxing ring because I wanted to show people that boxers aren't just dumb dudes that can't do nothing. Boxers just capable of doing other things as any other athlete. It's just a matter of most of the time they let promoters and managers tell them what they can't do. But I wasn't going to be one of those guys. So
Was just adds to the things that what made Roy Jones Jr. is the unique parts of different aspects put all together in one person.
Exactly.
Like, I mean, no other boxer has made a banger. I don't know if other boxers made songs, but a song that lasted that long.
But let me take you a step further. This is what I be talking about. This is where they miss me at. Muhammad Ali did rhymes. Muhammad Ali dominated boxing, and he always had a rhyme. Flow like a butterfly, sting like a bee. That's why they call him Muhammad Ali. He always had rhymes all the time before he fought, different ones, right? So if you're going to take on the legacy that Muhammad Ali left you, and you're going to add to it, then those rhymes should grow into songs. Or you're not building off the legacy that he left you, right? If you're going to do the same thing he did, you just duplicate what he did. That's not legacy. You got to add to. He didn't leave that for you to do the same thing. He left that for you to add to that. He wants you to keep building for the next generation can add to that. Right?
Yeah.
Okay then.
That's powerful.
There you got it.
That's powerful. So I'm just curious, what's on Roy Jones Jr. playlist, training playlist?
A whole lot of Roy Jones Jr., a whole lot of Scarface, a whole lot of DMX. Phone Tap is probably my favorite song. Well, one of my favorite songs of all time. Phone Tap and Got to Get Paid by Scarface is probably two of my favorite songs. But yeah, it's a lot of that.
Do you think like you make obviously a lot of music. Do you think music allowed you to express yourself in a sense that the boxing didn't allow you to?
Nah, I can't say that because boxing allowed me to tell every dang thing I wanted to tell. I mean, I was showing you better than I was telling you. So boxing gave me an opportunity to express everything I felt just like I felt it. Just music was an additive to my expressions. You feel me? So music gave me a chance to have it the way you could hear what was going on in my mind. I knew what was going on in my mind, but by doing the music, it gave you a chance to share what was going on in my mind. You feel me? So music gave the world a chance to understand my expressions a little bit better. But I knew exactly what I was thinking. So it wasn't no. So the music didn't make me that didn't make me express myself more. It just gave me a verbal way to do it, so that now you can hear what's going on in the mind of this lunatic.
Oh, that's interesting. Do You still make music?
Yeah, I still make
Yeah.
music. Yeah.
Well, we have quite a big scene of rap game in Kazakhstan.
That's
So
good. That's good. That's
would
good.
would you
Of course
consider
I
ever
would.
making a
Of
feature
course,
with a Kazakh
of
rapper?
course I would. Listen, I'm universal. I'm a God's person. I'm universal. God is omnipresent. So I'm universal. Wherever God takes me is where I go. And whatever he put in front of me is what I do.
That, that's sick. That's sick. I can't wait now. I'm looking forward for Roy Jones Jr. featuring some Kazakh rapper or an artist.
No problem at all.
And I hope it's gonna be another, motivating banger. So you've obviously achieved crazy levels of everything, and you've achieved something that no one's ever achieved before. But is there something that you still want to accomplish? Is there something that still keeps you driving or going, or something that you're like?
The last thing I want to do is develop a world champion myself. If I develop a world champion, that means I took what God gave me, I turned around and utilized it to improve somebody else's life. That's bigger than anything you can do.
That's powerful. I'm sure. If you have a world champion, I think every boxing fan and every non-boxing fan would love to watch Roy Jones Jr. student being a world champion. And that title fight, the first title fight, is going to be insane pay-per-views.
You better believe it.
Yeah, people would love to see that, and watching you in the corner side would be wow. I'm telling you that as a boxing fan, I would love that. I would
Glad
love
to hear
that.
that. Glad to hear that.
Well, now that there's a rise of MMA, obviously, and there's the desire, the MMA fighters want to fight the boxers. The boxers want to fight the MMA fighters. What do you think about that?
I started the concept.
Oh.
They always forget about what I beat done, right? The first crossover match they ever thought about doing with a real appeal to it was Roy Jones Jr. versus Anderson Silva. Two legends of their own sports at the same time.
Oh, yeah.
That's where the stuff started from. UFC wouldn't let Anderson do it. They eventually let McGregor do it with Floyd. Yeah. Then it took off from there. You understand me? But the first real one that would have been entertaining that people really wanted to see was Roy Jones Jr. versus the Spider. I, once again, started this thing. You understand me? That's so true, don't let them forget. They just doing what Roy already conjured up in his mind. They following Roy's footsteps. Roy not following them. Roy leading the way. Roy the pioneer. They follow what Roy did. You heard me? Y'all must have forgot.
Hell yeah. Anderson Silva.
We both.
Would you say he's like the Roy Jones of
he
MMA?
Was, without a question. That's why the fight would have been so big. He was using my tricks in MMA. Of course he was the Roy Jones of MMA. You understand me? Yeah. You couldn't hit him. He fought with his hands down. I mean, come on, bro. Yeah, that's why it would have been such a beautiful thing to see.
It would have been insane. Yeah. It would have been insane.
Yeah.
So you think it's like, is that a good thing for both sports?
Well, it's a good thing for both sports because it causes the worlds to collide, and it brings fans from both sides to the other side. Mm-hmm. But the problem is today is you do have a few entertaining MMA guys. Mm-hmm. You don't hardly have any entertaining boxers anymore. Who box that entertains outside of just beating somebody up? Mm-hmm. All the top boxers now, what are they known for? Just beating people up. They don't do no shuffles no more. They don't do no wind-ups no more. They don't drop the hand and put the hand behind their back. They don't do none of that. They're not trying to entertain you. They entertain you by just beating this guy up. Mm-hmm. They take their job and say, hey, this is all I'm paid to do, so this is what I'm going to do. Understand me? Me, I was different. When I go out there, and I'm the same way with everything I do. When I go out there, I'm going to make sure you remember what I did. You're going to be talking about it 2 days from now. You're going to just forget it when you go home tonight. You're going to say, holy smoke. Did you see what he just did? Yep. Y'all, there's a conversation going to be have to be had 2 or 3 days later because it's going to be so entertaining. If not, then why should I do it? Yeah. I ain't going to waste your eye time nor my eye time.
True. Yeah. Well, I'm running out of questions, but one thing that to conclude this this talk, this conversation, one thing that I want to hear from you as a fan. Um, what would you tell? What would you tell to? So two questions. Again. First is someone who wants to start combat sports, but just starting first day. What would be your advice to that person, and what would be your advice to someone who is starting professional career tomorrow?
In boxing, in combat sports, you're gonna start a career. Make sure you understand what all it entails. Make sure you understand who you are genetically, because genetics are everything. Find a coach that can take you and guide that genetic build-up that you have, that can take that and make the most of it. If you're gonna turn professional tomorrow, best thing you can do as a professional boxer is go nowadays, follow the Jake Paul pattern, become famous on YouTube if you can. Find a way to become famous, because if you become popular on YouTube, you do not need a promoter. You do not need nothing but a team to help you do your stuff. You understand me?
Mhm.
And that's big, and that's saying a lot.
And the last question that I'm very curious about: would you say the knockout power is something that one is born with, or is something that can be developed?
Something that can be developed.
Mhm.
Gotta go, cause Prince Nassim calling me now, so I gotta run.
All right. Well,
Thank you guys. Good to
that's
see y'all.
perfect timing.
All
Thank
right.
you so much, Roy Jones
All right.
Jr., legend.